Tomorrow is December 1st, which first of all, I cannot even begin to fathom that. Apparently, it's here. And December means I only have one more month to complete my Goodreads goal for this year, which of course, like always, I am behind on. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last year, I really started reading again. I've always been a big reader, always had books around the house when I was younger, all of that, but school, specifically high school, really got in the way of my regular reading. But last year I graduated and I rediscovered my hobby of reading. So around like March or April of last year was when I kind of started reading, and then obviously when I actually graduated it picked up, but I rediscovered that hobby in like the spring, and I ended up reading 50 books last year. So when this year rolled around and it was time for me to set another reading goal, I said, well, I read 50 books in like 8 or 9 months, so in 12 months I'm assuming I could read more than that, so I'm gonna put 75 books as my goal. And then this spring I got like stricken down. That sounds dramatic, but it's not at all dramatic, it's literally true. I got struck down by these horrible headaches and I like barely read, barely wrote, barely got out of bed for like months. So that set me back a little bit on my goal, so I ended up lowering the goal to 65, and then I was just reading as I do at my pace, and I was realizing that there was no way I was gonna read 65, so I ended up lowering the goal again to 60, and here we are, almost December 1st, almost last month of the year, and I've read 51 books, which I'm gonna give myself a little pat on the back because that's still a lot of books, but December is tomorrow and I have to read 9 books in December. The most books I've read this year so far in a month is 8, so if I just read one more than that, I can do it. Obviously, reading is fun and it should be for fun. It shouldn't be like I have all these goals that I have to do, but I find the goals kind of fun, and also I kind of want to see if I can do it. Like, can I read 9 books in 1 month? That'll be like a new all-time, like, I've never done that before. I'm gonna bring you along, at least for catching up with my Goodreads goal. Like, I'm not gonna read 9 books in this one video, but I'm gonna read a few and just try to get a little bit more on track, you know what I mean? So let me talk like a little bit about what books I'm currently reading and what books I just finished and kind of just where my head's at with reading. So the book that I just finished is The Ballad of Never After, which is the sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart. I finished this like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, and I have like not stopped thinking about it. No spoilers really in this video, but what I will say is, what the hell was that ending? Like, I am still processing it, I'm still upset, I'm still distraught. The more that I think about it, the more that I process it, the worse I feel inside. Because when I was actually reading the words, I was just shocked. I was in shock. And now that I'm processing it, I'm just getting more and more distressed. Like, how could that happen? What's gonna happen next? I don't know. I'm so stressed. So I am a library book girl. If you've watched my videos before, you know that. I always get books from the library and read them, and then if I like them, I buy them to add them to the collection. But I like to take them on a little test run first, you know? Pretty much the second that I finished this book, I ran to my computer and ordered the 3rd and final book in the series, and it is at the library, but I don't feel like going to the library today. I don't really want to leave the house, but I really, really want to know what happens next. But I'm already in the middle of 2 books, which I'll get to in a sec, but I just cannot stop thinking about this. So whenever I get my hands on the 3rd one, I am gonna jump right in. But I am in the middle of some other books, so let me show you those. Firstly, I'm listening to the audiobook of Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I've been listening to that for like 3 weeks. For me, when I listen to an audiobook, I just listen to it whenever I can. It's not really like I need to finish this audiobook right now, I'm gonna like listen to it for hours and hours. I just do it whenever I can. Like if I'm cleaning my room, I listen to it. If I'm doing my nails, I listen to it. Like just whenever the opportunity comes up, I put it on. So the audiobooks usually take me a really long time. I think I have like 4 or 5 hours left on the audiobook, so I'm gonna try to finish it this week. I'm gonna try to do some activities that I can listen to it during, and then that will be one book closer to the goal. And then I'm currently reading Six of Crows for the first time ever. I have started already, but I'm only 35 pages in, so I feel like you guys can come along for my journey of this. So far, 35 pages in, I don't even know if I should be giving an opinion yet. 35 pages is like nothing, but I will. I love the writing style. This, when I'm reading it, I see it all in my head like a movie. Like it's so good. Very immersive, very well written. I feel like, from what I've read so far, 35 pages, I feel like it might be a little bit of a slower book, if that makes any sense. Like, and that's not a bad thing. Like a book like this or Once Upon a Broken Heart is very fast paced. Like there's like a new thing happening every scene. And I feel like this is gonna delve a lot into like the characters and their relationships and all the little missions and stuff. I don't think it's gonna be very like drama, fast paced, but I also don't know. I haven't read like any reviews on this book. I don't know anything. But just so from what I've read so far, I think it's going to be a very immersive read, which is fine, and obviously I like it, and I'm 35 pages in, so I might be completely wrong. I might literally just be talking out of my ass right now. I have no idea. Currently, as we speak, I'm reading Six of Crows and then listening to Bride, but if I go to the library tomorrow, we might be jumping back into this because I just really need to know what happens. I need to know the ending. But yeah, now that we've kind of caught you up with where I'm at, I guess we should probably get started with reading. I'm going to sit down with Six of Crows and have like a glass of water and chill. I need to have lunch soon, so I probably won't read this for very long, probably like 30 minutes, but I want to have some water and relax and read for a second, and then I'll probably read more later. Like really sit down and unlock in later. But we're just gonna do a quick little reading session first, and I will take you along for that. Unfortunately, I have to take the Christmas sweater off, even though I really don't want to, but it's so hot in my room. It's always hot in my room, and I don't know why. It like makes me so angry. It's like 39 degrees outside, and I am sweating back here. You guys know how I literally just said that this book was a slow read? I'm only like 50 pages in now, and I'm gripped. I just lied in the intro. Sorry about that. I'm begging you to ignore the way that I look, but I'm just about to get ready because I'm hanging out with Bessie today, and I'm watching Gossip Girl for the first time. I've never seen Gossip Girl before. I'm on season 3, and what the hell am I looking at right now? I don't really want to put this on the internet, but I just feel like I need to confide in you because I feel kind of traumatized. No! Make them stop. Make them stop, please. I do not need to see that crap. Okay, guys. Mini book update. Last night I got to page 103. I'm now 100 pages in, which to me, that means that I have committed. I did just want to apologize for basically saying that this book was gonna be boring. I didn't really say that or really mean that, but like I said it was gonna be a little slower, and while it's like it takes a long time to read, it's very descriptive and very like monologue heavy, so like it does take like each page takes a long time to read. Like I read for like an hour last night and I only think I read like 50 pages. There's just a lot of information on each page to digest. The more that I read, the more that I like it. The characters are great. They're very like well done, and I love the world. Like there's just so much. This book just feels like it has so much like meat to it. The world is like so big and fleshed out, and the characters so big and fleshed out with their own like backstories and stuff, and it's good. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll see you whenever I pick this book back up. At the start of every one of these clips, but please ignore the way that I look. It's hair wash day. Cannot stand the feeling of it touching my face. Just wanted to pop on here and do a quick little update. I'm still kind of struggling to get into this book. I do like it, and I definitely like am more gripped and intrigued now than I was at the start, because now I like want to know what happens, but it's just a lot of information all at once, and it's like slow going. Like I said, I'll sit down for like an hour and a half and get like 70 pages in, because there's just like so much information on each page to digest. So I don't know if this is the book out. I don't really know if this is the book I should be reading right now when I'm like trying to catch up on goals, because it's just going so slow. But I've wanted to read this book for a long time, and I think I will like it, but right now it's just like a lot, and it might be a lot all the way through. It might be just a book that takes a long time to read, which is fine. I just don't know if that is what I should be doing right now with the reading kind of goals that I have. But I'm already 100 pages in, and I don't want to DNF it. I definitely want to finish it, but I'm thinking I might take a break for a day or two and read something else. I definitely want to finish this month, but it might take me a couple weeks because it's going so slow. So I might read some other things sprinkled in there. I don't know. The smart thing to do is to just commit and really like grind and read this. It's taking forever. I don't really know where I'm at with this, but an exciting development. I got her, y'all. What do I do? The heart. It's what my heart wants. I think that since this book is just going so slow, I'm gonna take a little break and start this book, just because I desperately want to read this and I desperately want to know what happens next. So this might pull me out of my like lack of motivation, and it would just feel good to read something and actually make progress. But I'm definitely not DNFing her. I'll definitely continue to pick her up, but I can't help myself. I also picked up Delilah Green Doesn't Care, because I was like, what would pull me out of like a reading slump? Lesbians, obviously. There is nothing that gets you out of a reading slump like a smutty romance. Like, it's foolproof. I just feel like I should get into Whoa, that's blinding. I feel like I should get into these two just to like pull myself out of whatever like rut I'm in right now. And then when I feel like picking this up, I'll pick her up and make progress. But it might take me like a couple weeks to get through this just because it's so much. So next time you see me, I will probably be reading this. Just thought I should probably pop on here and give you a little update. First of all, I listened to a little bit of my audiobook last night. I don't really know like what everybody else thought about Bride. I personally am really enjoying it. I'm just like such a Wattpad girly in my core, in my deep dark soul. So when you give me like a vampire werewolf arranged marriage, I like start drooling a little bit because I'm like, give me. But I really like it. I really enjoy the story. I had to stop in the middle of like the big twist cliffhanger last night and it like made me so mad, but I had to go do something. I'm hoping that I can finish it tonight because I want to know what happens, and also it would be nice to finish a book. But yeah, I'm liking it. No notes really. So you guys saw how I was literally feral for the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I don't know if that's what the series is called, but you know what I mean. I was like foaming at the mouth. Tell me why I started a completely different book yesterday. What's wrong with me? How it happened was I like took a shower and then I laid down in bed and I had my books like right next to me and I just was looking at them, and I had A Curse for True Love next to me and I had this next to me, and I said which one is calling to me, and this one was calling to me. So I picked it up and started reading it because I figured I should read what's calling to me. And I think that happened because, one, I've kind of been dying for a romance. I haven't read a romance in like forever, like a contemporary romance. The last romance I think I read was literally Powerless and then Reckless. I've just been desperate for like a rom-com because that's my bag. That's my favorite thing in the world. But guys, why did no one tell me this book was so good? Like, I was picking this up and I was like, oh yeah, silly little rom-com for some fun. And I'm reading this and I'm like, I'm kind of obsessed. Like, the characters are so well written and so well developed and deep. I'm like really invested and I'm loving the story. Like, it's very fast-paced and like gripping, and that like something crazy happens like every 2 pages and you're like, what? It's a new development constantly. Yesterday I read, literally, I am not kidding you, 200 pages. This is what I read in like one afternoon. I sat with this for like 45 minutes after my shower, and then I sat with it again because I wanted to know what happened last night for like an hour and a half. And I was like starving to death because I wanted like a snack before bed, and I was starving and I was tired and I couldn't put it down. Yeah, so yeah, loving this. I'm gonna order the rest of the series from the library later today. I'm probably gonna read more of that book later today. I might finish it, honestly, because I think I have like 100 and maybe 50 to 75 pages left, and if I could read 200 pages yesterday, I can surely read 150 today. That is kind of all the updates I have, so I will see you when I see you when I read next. with the straightest face. Sorry, it could crack me up. Hey guys, little book update. I ended up finishing Bride a couple hours ago. I just kind of put it on while I was organizing my makeup desk and ended up finishing it. I know I didn't really read that book a lot in this vlog, so I won't like yap too much about it, but I did really like it. I ended up giving it 4 stars on Goodreads and then 4.5 on Fable. I'm kind of between the two. I really enjoyed some parts when I was listening to it. It definitely didn't have that like 5-star feeling of it being like addictive and like I can't stop listening. It wasn't exactly that, but when I was listening, I was really enjoying it. It was very entertaining. I think it might be my favorite from Ali Hazelwood. It was just so different from anything that I have read, you know, lately, and it was good. So if you were like going back and forth with whether or not you should read it, I think that you should. If you were like a Wattpad girly back in the day, I definitely recommend it. I think that sometimes it's good to just read something that is kind of ridiculous. Obviously the book was good and like the plotting was good, the writing was good. I'm not saying that like it was just like, you know, written by a 14-year-old, but the premise is kind of Wattpad-ish. But I feel like personally, sometimes in your reading journey, you have to go back to your roots, you know what I mean? Like vampire, werewolf, kind of mythical creatures. If that sounds like something that you would like, or something, a little part of you that you'd like to indulge, I do recommend it. It was a good book. It was well written, it was entertaining, the couple was good, the main character was good. By the end, I was like, this is such like a kind of found family vibe, and I was really enjoying it. Like one of the characters would like stand up for another one and I'd be like, yes. Like I was starting to get like, you know, a little bit attached. So if something like that is up your alley or you've been, you know, considering it, I do recommend. But I don't think it's like the best thing ever and you like have to read it. I don't feel that way. And then also I finished Delilah Green yesterday. Again, this book was so good. Why did no one tell me? I definitely think if you are a fan of rom-coms and romance novels and just a feel-good read, I 100% recommend this. This was so good, so entertaining. I felt like I was watching a rom-com and it was so quick to get through. I read this in like 4 or 5 hours, you know, in total. A super cute read. I do highly recommend this. Yeah, I ended up giving this 5 stars because it was so addicting. When I wasn't reading it, I was thinking about it and thinking about how I cannot wait to get back to reading it. I was reading at like random times in the day, which I don't usually do that. I usually have like certain times in the day that are best for reading, you know what I mean, just with my schedule. I usually will like wake up, have breakfast, blah blah blah, whatever, and then I like to write in the morning usually, and then I'll read until lunchtime, and then I'll have lunch, and then I'll do some other things, and then I'll read until dinner. I just feel like it's a really good way to just unwind and relax and get away from screens, because I do a lot of things with screens, and then I also like to read before bed. So there's usually like certain times where I'm like, I could read at this time, but I was like actively like I had other things on my to-do list and I was reading instead. So I ended up giving this 5 stars, which I did not see coming. I don't give a lot of romance novels 5 stars because they're not usually, to me 5 stars is like a feeling, you know what I mean? Like it's just a book that is so addicting and you can't put it down and you can't stop thinking about it. I just feel like usually contemporary romances aren't that. I mean, they're good and they're a fun time, obviously, but they're not always, you know, the best thing ever. But I really enjoyed this, so 5 stars. I had to give it out. I literally finished the book, closed the cover, and went to my laptop and ordered the rest of the series. Anyways, now you might be thinking, Katie, how much progress have you made towards your Goodreads goal? Well, turns out I'm still 3 books behind because it took me another week to, you know, get those 2 done. So I'm still 3 books behind. I'm not gonna really focus on like a timeline. Like if one week I read 3 books in the week, fine. If one week I read 1, it's fine. So I'm just gonna try to read as many books as I can this month. So speaking of reading as many books as you can, I do need to pick my next read. So we're back to this crossroads here. I do feel like I should probably sit down with this and just try to finish, but I could also stop stalling and read this and just stop being so afraid of what's gonna happen and just read it. But I think I'm gonna alternate. Like if I sit down to read tonight, I might read this, and then tomorrow if I sit down to read, I might read this, and I think I might just go back and forth. I'm saying that might be stupid because I might get confused. I'm usually able to remember, so I might just go back and forth until one of them like grips me, you know what I mean? Until one of them I'm like, I want to stick with this one, because I really just need to get into one of these. So, but I'm not quite ready to commit to either one. So I think I might just go back and forth. But yeah, that's kind of my plan, where my head's at. I'm feeling good because I think I'm out of my reading slump. But yeah, I'll see you when I read next, and I guess you'll see what I end up doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I finished A Curse for True Love last night. This book went by so quick. It was so fast-paced and so like addicting. I just like had to know what was happening next. I know that I said I was gonna alternate between this and Six of Crows, but this ended up really grabbing my attention after just like a couple chapters, so I just decided to roll with it. I gave it a 5 stars because it was, again, that like addicting feeling where you can't put it down and you're thinking about it when you're doing other things. And I started it 2 days ago, just, you know, read a couple chapters, and then I literally binged the rest of it yesterday, like the entire book, like 250 pages, binged it because it was so good. It was just really good, so I'm feeling really great about my reading right now. Like right now as we speak, it's December 9th, and so far between the 1st and the 9th, I've read 3 books, and all of them have been over 4.5 stars. I also feel like I'm gaining on my goal. Goodreads still says that I'm 2 books behind schedule, but over the next like 2.5 weeks, or like, you know, 2 weeks and 5 days, I have to read 6 books. I feel like I can read 6 books in like basically 3 weeks. It'll be a lot, but also fun. And I do feel like I could potentially do it. I don't want to jinx anything, but I don't know if I'm just like riding the high of like all of my books kind of going well right now. Something might go horribly wrong. I might get thrown into a book slump again. I have no idea. But as of right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna read one more book for this vlog, and then I'm gonna immediately start a new vlog of just finishing the Goodreads goal. But yeah, I know in my mind, in my logic mind, that I should probably sit down and read Six of Crows. However, because I'm on such a roll right now with fast-paced books and books that I'm super excited to read, I am actually gonna read The Naturals next. I'm so excited for this book, and everybody says that they love it and that it's super fast-paced and that you literally cannot put it down. I do feel like a little mystery YA book will keep me rolling on my roll. My loose plan, which as you guys know, I always go against my plan, but my plan is to read this and then order the rest of the series from the library if I liked it, and then while I'm waiting for those to come in, I'm gonna read Six of Crows. But who knows, because I always go against my plan. I also did order the rest of the Bright Falls series, so those are probably gonna be in soon, and I will probably read those as well. So I don't know, but that's just an idea of like what I'm doing next. I don't know. That'll be in a different video anyway. So let's read this together. Pop on here and give a reading update. I read like 100 pages yesterday, and so far I am loving this book. It's very good, very intriguing. I will say I'm on chapter 14. It hasn't like totally picked up, or like the plot hasn't completely started, so I'm sure this is about to get like much more exciting, but so far I'm very intrigued and feeling pretty good about this read. I don't really have like a lot of thoughts because again, I'm like 100 pages in, so there's not like a lot to say, but I just wanted to pop in here and give like a reading update, a little talking portion, because I feel like there's just been a lot of like B-roll, and I wanted to kind of talk and share my thoughts instead of reading in silence. So let's keep going with this. Reading The Naturals. I really liked it. I had a really good time reading it. It was very entertaining and very fast-paced, and I literally flew through this book. Like, I was reading like 100 pages in like 45 minutes, and I literally binged the entire thing in like almost a day. But I ended up giving it 4 stars. I just could not give it 5 stars, even though I binged it, because again, 5-star feeling, didn't get it with this, but it was very good. I just wasn't very invested in like the romance love triangle that was going on. I thought it was distracting from the actual plot of the story. I felt like the plot of the story of like the hunting the serial killers and our main character's involvement in that and all of that was much more interesting than the romance. So I was like kind of bored at some parts. So because the romance and the friend group, if you will, wasn't hooking me, there were parts in the story where I was like, can we get back to the crime, get back to the mystery part, you know? Like the last like 100 pages flew by because they really got into the thick of it. So while I flew through this and was like really eager to know what happened next, there were parts that lulled for me a little bit, but I am going to continue the series, and I'm sure that the kind of found family group of teens romance will just kind of grow on me as I, you know, read more books. I'll be like, I, you know, like these characters, but I felt like this, it was like barely 300 pages, which is not enough for me to get fully invested in like 5 different characters, especially when there was so much else going on mystery crime wise. But I did really enjoy it, and I will be continuing the series, and it was definitely really fun to read that. Scrunchy!
Put you on camera?
Why do you look like that? Don't be rude. You're being rude. Wee. But yeah, with all that being said, that concludes this vlog. I had a really great time. Really good book streak I've got going here. Feeling pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna hit my goal for the year, but I'm having a good time, so that's all that really matters. I hope that you guys had a good time watching this video. Please like the video if you did have a good time, and leave a comment pertaining to anything in this video. If you've read any of the books I read in this video, I'm definitely down to discuss and talk about things. Also comment any videos that you'd like to see from me. Please subscribe to be notified when I post. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a really great day. Bye!